Okay, the line graph below tracks the balance of Howard's checking account at the end of each day between May 12th and May 26th. Use the information in the graph to answer the questions that follow. A says about, so about right here is going to tell us that we are going to be estimating. And so this right here is telling us we're going to be estimating how much money does Howard have in his checking account on May 21st. So we know this is change over time this way. This is time. So May 21st, we know it's 19, 20, 21st. So this would be where the 21st is at right here. So we can see it says about how much money does Howard have is checked on May 21st. And we can see this is between 1 and 2, and each one of these are quarters. So estimation, since it's right on the line, I could probably say, and it says in thousands. So I know this would be 1.25 thousandths. Okay. Now, if I wanted to sit and write this out instead of in decimal, saying it because we're kind of using this in unit form. So if I would take this 2,000s, I would bring them a decimal point 3 over, so it'd be 1250. So it'd be $1,250. Now, if I wanted to do a real estimate, I could just say, well, this is between 1,000 and 2,000. My estimate is approximately. Okay, now it says, if Howard spends $250 from his checking account on May 26th, about how much money will he have left in his account? Okay, once again, this says about. So I can see here he has about $1,000, I'm estimating, in his account. And it says he's going to spend $250. Remember, estimation's all about mental math. And I can see by this that I would have approximately $750 left. Explain what happened with Howard's money between May 21st and May 23rd. Well, here's 21st, 22nd, 23rd. So we're talking about from here to here. If we looked from here to here, it's horizontal. So that means there was no change in value. Because remember, these type of graphs are totally about change over time. So during that time span, it was a horizontal line, so there was no change. Howard received a payment from his job that went directly into his checking account. On which day did this most likely occur? So we're talking about he received payment, okay? And since he received payment, we know that would make the value increase. And it's going to be right away. So I can see here I have a steep slope, which shows a very large increase from this day to this day. So I can tell this is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. I'd say on the May 16th, he got the payment because the sharp increase in value on that day. E. Howard bought a new television during the time shown on the graph. On which day did this most likely occur? Well, as we can see here, starting on the 12th, it went down slightly, okay? And we can tell this here would be $750. It's $1,000. So he's just spending a little bit of money here. Then we already said that this right here, this time period, is when he got paid. Then he started spending a little bit of money, and all of a sudden right here he had a sharp decrease. And we know that each one of these is approximately $250. Okay, so that's a reasonable price for a TV right here. And it went down, showing that he spent it. So I would say that and that's going to be right on this date, which would be the 18th. So Howard bought the TV on the 18th of May. Okay, on our next line, it says a line graph below tracks Santino's time at the beginning and end of each part of a triathlon. A triathlon is like a race. Use the information in the graph to answer the questions below. How long does it take Santino to finish the race? Well, as you can see, he started at 1 and he finished right here. So this is going to be 1 hour, and we got to figure out what these increments are. We know this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means they must be 10-minute intervals. So I can see that was 1 hour and 50 minutes. To complete the triathlon, Santino first swims across the lake, then bikes through the city, and finishes by running around the lake. According to the graph, what was the distance of the running portion of the race? Now, if you think about this, he has to swim across the lake, then he rides a bike, then he finishes by running. Okay? So, by time-wise, we can figure out how long it would take him to do things. Okay? So he first swims across the lake, which that would be represented right here. He's swimming. And then it says he bikes through the city, and we can tell by this steady decrease here over the time. This is the bike. And the last thing it says he finishes by running around the lake. And we can see here that this one is not as fast as this one, so he's running. So it makes sense that he'd be running from the 2 hour, 20-minute time frame till the 2 hour, 50-minute time frame. Okay, next one says during the race, Santino pauses to put his bike shoes and helmet on, and then later to change his running shoes. At what times did this most likely occur? Well, we're saying that he paused. That means there should be no change during that time period. So we can see right here, there is no change in a time period. And right here, there is no change in a time period. Okay? So this is where he paused. And right here is where he paused. So these times right here, we can see that's 1, 10, and I'm going to estimate about 1 hour, and I'm going to say 15 minutes into the race through 1 hour, and not fully 10 minutes, so I'm just going to say 19 minutes. So that was his first pause. His second pause, we see this, we know it's 2 hours and 10 minutes, and it's about right in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and say 2 hours and 15-minute time frame, and he's right at the 2 hour 20 minutes. And we know that just because of this horizontal line. There's absolutely no change because he didn't make, there was no change in distance during that. Okay, on D, which part of the race does Santino finish most quickly? How do you know? Well, since this is time over distance over here, this is distance and this is time, we're looking for a sharp decrease, okay? Now I can see here, this period right here, which we can see it's not that steep. This part here is a lot steeper than this part here. So we know that from the part of the race, because it said he swam, then he rode a bike, and then he ran. So we can see that he was riding the bike quicker. But it says finished most quickly. Well, that puts another spin on it. Initially was looking like which one was he did the fastest. But you can see here the swimming took about 15 minutes, because from here to here was the swimming. The bike ride, even though he did it faster, if we look at it, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, let's say 55 minutes total on the bike. And the running would have been 10, 20, let's say 30 minutes in total. So in all actuality, he finished the swim portion fastest. So the swim was finished the fastest. During which part of the triathlon did Sandra racing most quickly? And this is what I was getting back to initially. Most quickly means the quickest slope. And that would have actually been back to the bike ride right here. And we can tell that by how steep this line is compared to the other two. Okay?